lunar eclipse in Capricorn. This is a great time for manifesting and transitioning, leaving behind what is no longer serving you and moving into a life of beauty and abundance. So this is some really beautiful energy that we have going. I'm going to invite you to begin by lying on your mat. You can come to a gentle entry by lying on your side first if you would like, and then gently rolling to your back. And just take a moment to ground on your mat. So perhaps placing the hands, the arms are at your side, perhaps placing the hands palms down on the mat. Feel the support of the mat beneath you. And just taking a moment for the body to settle in, making any adjustments you need to so that you are feeling comfortable and completely supported. Then we'll begin by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, inhaling beauty and abundance. And as we exhale, we're going to release anything that is no longer serving us. We're going to do that 2 more times. So inhaling beauty and abundance in through the nose. And then exhaling and releasing through the mouth. Feeling the body settling on the mat, becoming heavy. 1 more time. Beauty and abundance, breathing in through the nose. And releasing all that no longer serves us out through the mouth. So as I welcome you to this practice, I invite you to welcome yourself to your mat. Take a moment to really embrace the fact that you have arrived. You are here on your sacred space. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. I'm going to invite you to envision yourself and your mat in kind of a protective bubble. I know that I am on my mat and I have some background noise that I'm hearing. So whatever you have going on in your sacred space, let's just take a moment to kind of create a sacred, protective bubble around our space so that we can just kind of focus only on what's right here, right now. So I invite you to envision this beautiful bubble, maybe it's even a little sparkly, just surrounding you and your mat, shielding and protecting you. And then I invite you to tune into your heart space. I invite you to listen to the whisperings of your heart. Ask your heart, what is it that it needs? And we ask this of our truest, highest selves, our inner divinity. What do you need? When you feel that you have an answer, I invite you to set your intention for your practice, keeping in mind the whisperings of the heart, what it is that you need. Once you have set that intention, let's stack one hand on top of the other at the heart center. We'll draw in a deep breath through the nose and just envision that intention circling through the entire body, through every beautiful light-filled cell of your body. And then we'll just gently release the breath. I'm going to invite you to bring your hands back down, bring the arms to the sides, palms down, and just take a moment to just be. Just be here on your mat within your beautiful protective bubble. Gift yourself with just a moment of silence and stillness. Let's take another deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. I'm going to invite you now to draw in another breath through the nose. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring our knees into our chest. Just hug our arms around them. Give ourselves a hug for a moment. Show ourselves a little love here. And then we'll bring the fingertips to the knees, just resting lightly. We're going to do some very slow, intentional hip circles. And we are going to be circling the knees around, fully around the hip joints, and we're going to pair the movement with our breath. So we're going to inhale as we circle the knees up and away from each other, drawing the breath in on the expansion. And then moving very slowly and intentionally, bringing the knees back together in the center and exhaling. Again, bringing the knees up and apart from each other, separating themselves, and inhaling. And then as the knees meet in the center, exhaling. I'm going to invite you to do that 6 more times, moving at your own pace. Again, pairing the movement with the breath. And when your knees meet in the center for the last time, we're going to pause there. And now we're just going to circle the knees in the opposite direction. So moving the knees down and then away from each other, inhaling. Moving up and back toward each other, exhaling. Again, very slow, very intentional movement, really moving through the hip joints, waking them up. And we'll do this again 6 more times at your own pace. Slow, gentle, but really moving through those hip joints. And then when the knees meet in center the last time, take a pause there. Again, we'll hug those knees in toward the heart. And then just gently rock back and forth, just giving that sacrum a little love, a little massage. And then we'll slowly roll to whichever side is more accessible for you. So again, moving slowly, gently with intention, rolling to our sides. We can rest our head on our bicep for a moment and just take a pause. Maybe close the eyes and just observe the body. Now that we're kind of waking up the lower half of the body, what is it that you witness, that you observe without judgment? Just notice what's there. Maybe send it a little love, a little compassion. Then we'll take the hand of the top arm, firmly plant it on the earth in front of you, and push yourself up. Again, moving slowly and gently. We're going to come into tabletop. We're going to move into child's pose. So if you would like to grab any props for your child's pose, if you would like a block to support your head, or perhaps a blanket beneath your knees or the tops of your feet, or a blanket over the backs of the calves, just go ahead and take a moment to gather whatever you need. And then when you're ready, we'll start in table. So the wrists are directly beneath the shoulders, knees are directly beneath the hips. And we're going to bring the toes together and the knees wide. So mat width distance apart. I'm going to place my blanket back here. Take a moment to place whatever props you might like. And then we'll shift the hips back over the heels. The hands come forward, forehead comes either to the mat or to a block. And we're going to move into our child's pose. We're going to hold it. This is a yin shape that we're using. And as we do so, I invite you to really allow yourself to kind of steep in the energy of surrender. This is a beautiful pose for surrender. So just surrender, release, let go as we hold child's pose for about 3 minutes. We are about halfway through the pose. If you wish to make any micro adjustments or perhaps change your arm placement, I'm going to bring my hands in prayer position behind my head. Kind of yogi's choice here if you wish to join me or keep your hands where they were. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Going to slide the hands beneath the shoulders and slowly and gently support ourselves up. We definitely want to make very slow movements in yin after we've been holding a shape. If you have any props, you can shift them off to the side, and then we will come to our rebound on our bellies. So we will come to lie on our bellies. Place the hands palms down, one stacked on top of the other, and place the forehead on the hands. And we will take a minute here in our rebound to just observe the body, observe the effects of the shape. And you may even bring your awareness to your breath. Just keep the energy focused inside. And we'll take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Our next shape that we're coming into is Sphinx. So we're just simply going to bring our forearms to the mat. And we want to have our elbows either just slightly in front of the shoulders, or if that's a little too deep of a back bend, then you may slide your elbows forward just a little bit. So find your placement of your elbows. Hands are palms down on the mat, fingers are spread. And we want to kind of make sure our glutes are relaxed, that we're not really holding onto tightness back there. And where we were surrendering in child's pose, here our hearts are open. So I invite us to assume an energy of welcoming. Welcome the beauty and abundance that are coming as we enter the second half of 2020, and we work with this energy of the full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn. So we will hold Sphinx while we welcome beauty and abundance for 3 minutes. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Again, we're going to be rebounding on our bellies. So we're simply just going to bring ourselves back down to the mat, stacking one palm on top of the other, and then resting the forehead on the back of the hand. And again, bringing the awareness to the body, maybe scanning the body and just witnessing what is going on in the body, the physical sensations, as well as any energetic shifts. So just bringing our awareness to our experience of the shapes. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Just slide the hands beneath the elbows. Support ourselves up to table once again. And we are going to come into our next shape is going to be pigeon. So again, if there are supports that you would like, I am going to get a blanket that I'm going to place beneath my hip. Some people prefer a block. I like a blanket because it has a little more give as I open into the shape. You could also place a bolster. And then we will be putting our, actually called swan in yin. We'll be putting our swans to sleep. We'll be folding forward. So if you would like a block on the mat toward the front of the mat, I invite you to get that as well. And then we will come back into tabletop, wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. We're going to take that right knee, and we're just going to slide it toward the right wrist, and then kind of kick out that right foot. So you might need to adjust the left knee. Once you've got that right leg in place, you can tuck the left toes and then just walk that left leg back until you reach your edge. And if your hip is not on the mat, you can take a blanket or a block or a bolster and just place it beneath the hip to support it. We'll take a nice breath in through the nose here and elongate through the crown, elongate the spine. And then we're going to fold forward over this right knee. So you may come down to forearms. You may stack one fist on top of the other and bring the forehead to the fists. Again, if you have brought a block to the front of your mat, you may rest your forehead on the block. So just go ahead and take a moment here to set yourself up in your swan, your sleeping swan. And then we will hold it for about 3 minutes. I will let you know when we're at the halfway point in case you would like to make any micro adjustments.
halfway through our time in Swan. If you feel yourself opening into it further and you'd like to make any micro adjustments, I invite you to do that now. And then just rest in silence and stillness. Swan is a beautiful shape for releasing emotion. So perhaps emotions that are no longer serving you. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Really letting go. Take those hands and slide them beneath the shoulders. Very slowly and gently support ourselves up. We are going to make sure we remove any props and send them on their way. We'll tuck the toes of that left foot and then bring that leg up so that we can release the right. And then you are probably going to feel pulled toward a counter pose, but instead we're going to come down into our rebound pose on our bellies. Again, stacking one hand on top of the other, resting the forehead on the backs of the hands, and really observing the difference between the right side of the body and the left, the right hip versus the left hip. So spending our rebound, just really noticing the effects of that shape on the right side. Drawing in a nice deep breath through the nose. Sighing it out through the mouth. Again, sliding the hands beneath the shoulders, coming up into tabletop. And here is where we'll take an opportunity for a movement. So if there is anything in particular you are called toward to kind of release that right hip, you could come into table, check your alignment, wrist under shoulders, knees under hips, and then circle all four corners of the mat, making sure that you pause and change direction, or if your body is asking for a downward dog, go ahead and take that opportunity now. And then once you have gotten all the movement that you need, we'll meet back in table. And again, if you would like a prop or two for your pigeon, your swan on the other side, I invite you to go ahead and set yourself up with that. And then moving back into table. We're going to take the left knee now and slide it up toward the left wrist, and then kind of kick that left foot out a bit. Tuck the toes of the right foot and walk that right leg back until you find your edge. Remember that it might be a different experience on this side than it was on the right side.
it may be a different experience today than it was yesterday or last week. And that is all okay. We meet all of that with compassion. When you are ready, we're going to elongate through the spine, bringing the crown of the head up toward the ceiling with a nice deep inhale. And then bring our swans down so that we can have sleeping swans. Finding your shape in sleeping swan, again with a block for the forehead or stacking fists or just resting the forehead on the mat or the backs of the hands, wherever you are today. And again, really invoking the energy of releasing any emotions that are not serving us. Holding for 3 minutes, and I'll let you know when we're at the halfway point. We're about at the halfway point. If you'd like to make any micro adjustments, I invite you to do so now. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Feel the beauty of that release. Let it go. We'll slide the hands beneath the shoulders. Moving very slowly and gently. Tuck the toes of that right foot. Raise that right leg so you can release the left leg, shifting any props out of the way. And then we're going to come down to rebound on our back. So I would suggest that you first come to lie on your side and then gently roll over to your back. Extending the legs out, coming into Shavasana pose for this rebound. And again, observing the effects of the shape on the body. So now maybe comparing right and left, seeing what physical sensations you are experiencing. Nice. Deep breath in through the nose here. When we exhale, let's really surrender more, release more, let go more. So nice deep breath in and a big sigh out. Let's do that one more time. Nice deep breath in and a big sigh out. Again, we'll draw a breath in. And this time as we exhale, we're going to bring the knees into the chest. Wrap our arms around them. Give ourselves another good hug. And then rock gently from side to side. Once again, massaging that sacrum. And we'll come to stillness and pause for a moment. Our next shape that we're coming into will be a twist. So if you would like any support to place beneath either your shoulder or your knees, or perhaps both, I invite you to go ahead and get that for yourself. I'm going to roll to my side, support myself up, and just grab a block, support my knees, and I might even want a blanket today for my shoulder. Just set those there so I have them as options. The knees are into the chest. A little space here. We're going to bring the arms out. You can bring the arms out to a T if you have room. Otherwise, you can bring them into goalpost arms or goddess arms. And then we are going to slowly and gently lower the legs to the right, keeping in mind that the closer they are to the torso, the higher up the legs are. The higher in the spine, you're going to feel your twist. And the farther away the legs are, the knees are from the torso, the lower in the spine you're going to feel your twist. So you can kind of play with that, see what your body needs today. And then we will hold this for 3 minutes. If you would like more of a gentle twist, the head can remain in neutral, eyes toward the sky, or it can turn, the head can turn so that the glance is over the right shoulder. If you'd like to deepen your twist, you can turn your head to the left so that you're looking over past your left shoulder. Kind of play with your twist. About halfway through, if you need to make any micro adjustments. deep breath in through the nose, side out through the mouth. If your head is turned to one side or the other, invite it back to neutral, to center. And then we're going to bring the knees back into the chest. You may need to adjust the hips to realign the spine. Hug those knees in. If you have any props, you can shift them to the other side for your support. And then we will again bring the arms out either to a T or to cactus arms. And then slowly and gently lower the legs to the left. Again, the head can remain in neutral, or you may turn to look over the left shoulder for more of a gentle twist, or turn over the head to look over the right shoulder for a deeper twist. About the halfway point, we need to make an adjustment. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Slide out through the mouth. Again, return the head to neutral and bring those knees back into the chest, adjusting the hips as necessary to realign the spine. Give yourself a hug here. And then we are going to extend the legs out, coming into Shavasana for our rebound. And again, simply observing the body, noticing the physical sensations, energetic shifts, and meeting it all with compassion. A nice deep breath in through the nose. Side out through the mouth. Release and let go. Breathing in through the nose again. As we exhale, we're drawing our knees into our chest, giving ourselves a hug, a gentle rock side to side, and then rolling to whichever side slowly and gently is more accessible to you. Pausing and resting there for just a moment. Placing the hand of the top arm firmly onto the earth in front of you, and slowly and gently supporting yourself up. We're going to come into actually it's more of a restorative pose as we come toward the end of the practice here. We're going to come into a reclined bound angle. If you have a bolster or a pillow, I'm going to invite you to get that. If you have a block, we'll invite you to get your block. If you have two, that is even better. Kind of set your blocks up, or if you have blankets, you could fold them and stack them, and then you can make a nice little incline with your bolster. And you may also want a blanket. You'll come and bring yourself to sit right up against that, and bring the soles of your feet together, and make sure they're not in really close to the body. We're going to shift them, slide them forward a bit to make a nice diamond shape. And you can take your blanket, completely unfold it so that you've got it. We're going to start with the long side. We're going to roll it up. You're going to make what kind of looks like a rope. I'm going to do this a little quickly so it won't be the prettiest job, but once we get that, we're going to take it and place it on top of our feet, and then bring it in and cross one end over the other, and then let the ends come out. This way it will kind of gently keep the soles of the feet together so that you can kind of release any muscular effort to do that. Once you've got that set up, hopefully that feels kind of nice and comfortable with your ankles, cushions them a little. We'll inhale, again, lengthen through the spine, crown towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to gently, slowly lower ourselves back to our bolsters. And I'm going to invite you to bring your hands to your heart, to stack them one on top of each other on your heart. As we come into this restorative pose, let's bring back to mind our intention that we began our practice with. And we will stay here in reclined bound angle for 3 minutes, really connecting again with our intention. This time, as we take our deep breath in through the nose, I invite you to mentally say to yourself, I welcome abundance and beauty into my life. And then on the exhale, as I release what no longer serves. So we're going to do that 3 times. Inhaling deeply through the nose and thinking to yourself, I welcome abundance and beauty into my life. As we exhale, as I release what no longer serves me. 2 more. Inhaling, I welcome beauty and abundance into my life. Exhaling, as I release what no longer serves me. 1 last time. Inhaling through the nose, I welcome beauty and abundance into my life. Exhaling, as I release what no longer serves me. Release your hands from your heart, bring them to your knees. Have your hands guide your knees back together, so knees to the sky. And then you can use your hands to kind of support yourself up. We're going to come into our Shavasana to close out our practice. So if you would like to take that blanket and place it over you if you would like a bolster or a stack of blankets beneath your knees, I invite you to take your time and set yourself up into a comfortable Shavasana position. You're going to lie on your back on the mat. If you have an eye pillow or a washcloth, you could place that over your eyes. Again, you could have a stack of blankets or even towels or a bolster beneath your knees. If you would like a blanket, a folded blanket beneath your head, sometimes that feels really nice. Take your time to set yourself up in Shavasana. I'm going to guide you through a little meditation before I allow you to drift off into Shavasana, after which I will guide you back with the bell. So let's draw in a nice deep breath through the nose and release it with a sigh through the mouth. Allow the body to become heavy on the mat, settling into your Shavasana. Eyes are closed, and I invite you to envision yourself standing in a garden. This garden represents your life. As you stand in this garden, you look around. I invite you to survey the weeds. Look for the weeds in your garden. Look for the things in your life that are taking up space, that are maybe choking out better things. As you identify the weeds in your garden, I invite you to visualize yourself coming down and working in the earth with your hands, digging these weeds up, pulling them out, removing the weeds from your garden. As you do so, you may place these weeds in a wheelbarrow that is nearby. As you finish weeding your garden, removing the things that do not serve you, I invite you to survey your garden now. Focus your energy and your attention on the things that you want to grow in your garden, the elements of your life that you wish to flourish. I invite you to visualize yourself tending to those things that you want to nurture in your life. You bend down, you're kneeling on the ground, and you're nourishing these elements of your garden, these elements of your life. You're watering plants that you want to see grow. You're making sure that they are having all their needs met. Just take a moment now to envision yourself tending to your garden, nourishing and nurturing the elements in your garden, in your life, that you would like to see flourish. you finish nurturing those parts of the garden that needed a little care, you stand up and maybe wipe the earth off your hands, brushing them against your legs. Walk over to the wheelbarrow and you wheel it down a path. This path leads to a fire pit with benches around it that is near a small river, trees overhead. As you wheel your wheelbarrow down toward the fire pit, there is a fire burning, and I invite you to bring all of these weeds that you have pulled and to dump them into the fire. And then allow yourself to stand back and watch the fire burn as the sun sinks low in the sky. Feel the release, letting go of things that do not serve you. You then step toward this small, gentle river and you step into it to wash the earth off your feet. You bend down to wash the earth off your hands, and you notice that the water is just perfect. It is cool and refreshing, and as the sun sinks a little lower in the sky, you decide to step all the way into the water and allow the water to wash everything away. You are floating this small, gentle river for just a moment, allowing it to completely support you and allowing the water to wash over you, cleansing you, taking away anything that is not serving you. Your feet find the bottom of the river and you stand once again and step out of it. There is a big fluffy robe on the bench near the fire pit. You wrap that around yourself, taking comfort in this fluffy robe. And as the sun is setting and it sinks below the horizon, you take a seat on the bench by the fire. There's a warm breeze and it blows through wind chimes that are delicately chiming overhead. They're suspended from the trees. The moon begins to rise, a full moon. And as you sit by this fire under the light of the moon, I invite you to visualize the beauty and abundance that you would like your life to be. Take these last few minutes of Shavasana to visualize your beautiful, abundant life, and I will guide you back when it's time. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Time to slowly bring movement back to the body, wiggling fingers and toes, circling hands at the wrists, feet at the ankles. Drawing in a nice deep breath and stretching the arms overhead as if it's your first stretch of the morning. Drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a hug. Show yourself some gratitude for bringing yourself to your mat for this practice. I invite you to rock gently from side to side, moving slowly and with care. And then come to rest on whichever side is more accessible for you. Perhaps resting your head on your bicep for a moment. Taking a pause. Now placing the hand of the top arm on the earth in front of you, slowly and gently supporting yourself up, coming into a seated position, taking your time. We will bring our hands to heart center as we close this practice. And know that I wish you so much beauty and abundance. And I honor your journey in manifesting those things for yourself. The divine spark in me honors the divine spark in you. Namaste.